Welcome to the Non-Superheroes Gets Dads podcast. No, we can't fly. No, we can't shoot lasers or pick up giant buildings. But what we can do is help set the foundations for our families, be present for our kids, and come back generational cycles. On this podcast, we dive into everything dad-related, from the struggles we deal with as fathers to what our favorite thing in the barbecue is. Hello, I'm Sean Laurie. I hope you guys are having an amazing, blessed day. Before we jump into it, right, make sure you like, subscribe, share. If you're watching on YouTube, press that subscribe and like button. If you're listening, Spotify, Apple, wherever you're listening, man, I appreciate the support. Like always, y'all. Normally, I normally do an icebreaker, but if you guys been rocking with me, by now this guy's he's been on here. He's like an honorary, I guess, member, right, of it. My boy Jawan, man, how you doing, boy?
I'm well, bro. I was we just getting into the new year. I just noticed I tucked my shirt. Last year the shirt was kind of big for me. I bought it big, but now I'm fitting into it. So if anything, I'm healthy. I've been eating.
Yeah.
But not anything changed. Just my hair getting a little bit longer. I've been eating this past few months. So
That's good.
A little bit of stress, a little bit of happiness. Things going well. So
I don't know if you was trying to get a little cut. I don't know.
Nah, that's all. The meals, bro. No meal prep though. So it's protein. But I was getting a little bit slim, but I was very active. So I've been a little less active, but now I'm starting to ramp back up. So yeah, man. How about you, man? How's Sean Lowry doing over these in this new year?
Man, everything's good, man. Just taking it day by day. I joked on Facebook a little while ago. I think it was the 6th or the 7th. I was like, no more Happy New Year's. That deadline passed already.
Yeah. I've seen that.
But nah, man. Overall, man, everything's been good. Taking it day by day, like all of us, right? Just getting into the swing of this year and just seeing what it has for me. But yeah, man. I want. We just gonna dive into it because it's something that I don't know if people really have this conversation. And so it's something that, is, I guess, important to me, or something I feel like should be talked about more. Because when it comes to society, or when it comes to different things like that, right, bro, we're constantly, I don't know, I guess I should say, when you first had your son or your daughter, right, did you ever notice the expectations being different? When you first had your son or first had your daughter, and the reason why I asked that, right? Let me backtrack. I guess the reason why I'm asking that is because I just look at it how it's always different when it comes to, I guess, dating, or it comes to different things like that. And so I guess we just gonna go back and forth with it, bro. But I guess I want to ask you, what kind of man do you want your son? What kind of man do you want your son to become when it comes to women? And I'm not talking about culturally, right? But I'm talking about morally.
Yeah, I'd start with. I feel like we maybe touched on the subject at one point before. Yeah. Again, we've been several times on here. When I talk to my son, he's 3 right now, so he'll be 13 next week, type thing. It'll be that fast. It'll be wow, you've already. Voice getting deep and all those things. I first of all want him to see value in himself as a black man. That's first and foremost. So before he becomes a man, he needs to know what comes with being a man, and it starts with me being an example for that. Okay, do I show him how to treat his mom well? Am I showing him Christ? Am I putting him around Christ-like people? That's always going to be the important part of whatever he does.
Yeah.
He needs to know the Lord. That's, for me, when you learn about the man of men, you gotta start there first. That's my full belief. So that's one, like I said, treatment of how I treat his mother, how I treat his sisters who are older by one is a little over 4 years older, and another one is about 10 years older. So he needs to be able to see how they're being treated as well. So exposure, that's going to be a major thing. So I just want him to, respect himself first. Yeah. And I feel like if he respects himself, he will learn gratitude. He will learn compassion as he grows. As he grows into himself. So yeah, I just want him to understand like women aren't objects. Women are human beings. They want respect just like you.
Yeah.
They don't want to be played. They don't want to be lied to. You don't have to lie to them. Like man, y'all don't have to lie to your women. We choose to do it. And I've done it. I've lied, this week about something. You call it a little white lie, but those white lies carry over.
Yeah.
Over time. So yeah, that's what I would just say for mine. What about you? Well, you got two boys, so
Yeah. Shoot, what kind of man do I want my sons, right, to become? Yeah, I want them to be able to understand, because I tell my daughters all the time to have standards, or I always tell them the standard is the standards. For them to have standards, right? For them to know their value, their worth. Because for whatever reason, like, society, right, praises boys for having multiple women. Let's be honest, right? But when it comes to daughters, right, we want to protect them from multiple men. But we don't try to do that for our sons, and we don't think about the impact that that has on our sons. Where, it's like, hey, you're a man if you have this chick over here, this chick over there. Like, when did it become a bad thing to have one woman, or not just one woman though? Have a woman that is of high value, right? And now there might be people who are like, well, there's not that many high value women. Are you sure about that? Like, at the end of the day, just like at least for me, I'll speak for me. Just like I tell my daughters, people can only do what you allow, right? At the end of the day, if they know this is how you're coming, they're gonna weed themselves out. And that goes for dudes when it comes to our daughters, but it also goes for females. Females now, man, they be more aggressive than the guys now, right? Like they be acting like dudes out here, like, hey, what's good? Like, I'm trying to see what the D about or something. You know what I mean? So
and that comes with them having seen that, I'm sure,
yeah,
heard it, their influence.
yeah,
So it's just like the first thing you said, feeling like multiple reason is feeling like multiple women is the way to go.
mm,
Well, where did that come from? Well, if I only see my dad or my father figure with one woman, why would I think multiple women is the way to be? Well,
mm,
I probably won't. But if I'm a guy who is being like almost taunted, like
yeah,
yeah, you can deal with her, and then once you're done, or if you're not done, you can just keep them as like a friend or
yeah,
just a cuddy buddy. Some people say or used to say. I can show my age now. Show somebody you can just play with,
yeah,
and a lot of times it's like, well, she's okay with it. She's not okay, bro.
yeah,
Like I don't think most women, I say any, but I don't think most women are okay with being the other woman.
mm,
That's one of the most 70 songs. The other woman, like that's like I don't maybe for a period of time, but
yeah,
eventually feelings get caught on either side. It's already dangerous out here. Been dangerous, ain't a new thing. So you get caught up with people you don't know who you dealt with, who to bring with you to the clinic. Man.
yeah,
Like that's a
yeah,
dangerous game. So just
yeah,
a danger that I want my child to be as safe as I can. Be with him as far as like I can only help you so far in life.
yeah,
I can only give you so many values and morals. So I mean, yeah,
yeah.
that's something to think about.
No, I agree, bro, and it's one of those things where I look at it too is like, again, to go back to, I guess it's a double standard. Now, in that sense, right? Maybe girls are mad, like, hey, why is it? Because I know that's a thing now too, where girls are
Mm.
empowering, like, hey, I should be to have multiple, dudes just like a female
Yeah.
does, right? Like that's one of those things now. But I look at it like, again, where did that come from?
Mm.
And at the end of the day, women, in my opinion, I'm not gonna say all women, but most women are more emotional, right? Men are more logical. So when, you know,
Oh, you about to get, you about to get. They're gonna get on your head about
and
that
that's
one.
fine, that's fine, but they're more emotional, we're more logical. So when you end up, as I call it, like soul tying, right? When you end up, doing your thing, like that's how God designed it for our souls to tie. That's why we might take on some of their habits or some of their personalities, or shoot, we could take some of their trauma, right? We could take some of different things, like, dang, why we acting like that or whatever. But anyways, like they all of a sudden when that happens, right? Hey, let's be honest. Oh man, you crack, right? You take her down, whatever, and now all of a sudden she's acting different. Why is she acting like this? Why is she tripping? Oh, she's crazy, right? And I just look at like all the headaches that we encourage our sons, right? Overall, as dads, we encourage our sons to take all these females down, and then when the females get emotionally attached, right? And they're acting out. All of a sudden, we're upset. Oh man, she's crazy. Oh dang, yeah. See, that's why you got go on to the next one, and we're making it worse, right? We're making it worse, and we're not realizing, like, oh shoot, like you know what, son, like, maybe that's not the direction you should go. I just look at it like that because I've seen it, bro. At least in our culture, and there's probably other cultures too, but
Oh, absolutely.
I've seen it where, they're 15, 16 years old and, you having strippers for your teen son, right? And it's one of those things like, what does that do psychologically to them, right? And I've had, conversations with dudes about it. They're like, oh man, I'm trying to make sure my son ain't, he makes sure he likes women or, as a man, this is what he's supposed to do. Like, well, how is that? How are you changing your son's view on women overall?
Yeah.
Right? Like, what impact does that have? It's just like, I see it all the time, bro. It's like, it's a thing where, we seen it where teachers, right? Like, first of all, I don't know where these, model looking teachers were when we were growing up. But anyways, these model
Man, I
looking
had one.
teachers,
I had one.
whatever. What you said?
I had one in high school, and to this day, she still like has kept herself up.
Yeah, so
But
well
that's
anyways, like it seems like
far in
all the
between.
time, like we're seeing all these, 25, 30, whatever teachers, women teachers messing with these boys, and I see it all the time and never fails. I see it on social media. Man, where were these teachers? Man, I would have loved to have her. I would have, and we're not thinking about, wait, what does that do to that 13-year-old boy? What does that do to that 16-year-old boy? Like we're not thinking about the what that does, especially let's say if the mom's not involved, or let's say like now all of a sudden it kind of might alter how that kid is going to date, right? How he views women, like, but we don't think about that. We're more so like, matter of fact, we're hyping it up. I've seen that too, like, hey, yeah, hey, that dude was getting it. It's like, wait, hold on, he's a kid, right? That technically was rape, right? No, but he liked it though. Did he like it? Like, you assuming, like, you projecting because that's what a man's supposed to do, right? Like, he's 15 years old messing with a 35-year-old, and we're celebrating it. He's still going through puberty. You know what I mean? I don't know, bro. It be tripping me
yes,
out when I see that.
it's definitely not like a cultural. I don't think it's generational. I just feel like people are just psychologically either even the older person who's at fault. They're going through something to where they're they have gained, or excuse me, they have lost a level of respect for themselves to where I don't even care about my teaching certification, all the years I've done. I want something from this young person, and it's both sides:
Yeah.
women, men, women. And I'm not here to judge anybody. What I will say is, when people are in that space, as a parent, I had to be more in tune with my child and let them know this is something that isn't okay. I don't think parents, and a lot of times because of work, because of the unavailability, they don't pay enough attention and see certain things.
Mm,
Like I just don't think these things just happen.
yeah.
Like, oh my goodness, I'm so attracted to this my teacher. Like I know people make fun of it, make movies, songs out about it, but it was no way I could have pressed up on my teacher and been like, hey, or her, came, approaching me with something and I not say anything.
Mm,
Now people may say like, I wouldn't say anything anyway. Like I would just let it happen. So I mean, one of y'all had messed up somewhere, and
yeah.
so I think that's where we as parents, we as fathers, particularly our fathers, being in their lives and
Mm,
teaching them, and not only just teaching, but really sitting with our men, our young men, and
mm,
letting them know like what isn't okay, what we need to wait for. What's out there because like you said, if I'm messing with a 30-something-year-old in my teens, what's the next step?
yeah.
Drugs. Like what's gonna please me now?
Yeah.
Another 13-year-old or another girl my age? No,
Mm,
I'm not gonna look at her and take her serious.
mm,
I've already had a grown woman. I had someone my mom's age. Or
yeah.
man, did you hear the Don Tripp song? Shout out to Don Tripp too. He basically wrote a song and performed a song. One of his last year, I think, mixed. Or, I think it was last year or the year before, about his one of his friends that was hanging around him messing with
Yeah.
his mom.
Rescue. Yeah, that rescue.
Rescue, yeah,
That's
yeah,
his
you
name.
know
Yeah.
about it. So just if y'all ain't see that, go hear that, check that out. Just
Yeah.
because that happens.
Yeah.
I know it's happened. I know people would like joke and like, man, I'll knock your mom down or whatever. and some moms will let you do it,
Yeah,
and that's just wild,
that's crazy.
And if that happened to you in your situation, I'm sorry that happened, man.
Yeah,
That's a lot to manage.
yeah, yeah, man. No, that's crazy. Now, how do you handle? Because your son's young, of course, but
Mhm.
shoot, your son's a handsome young dude, right? So what do you do when I've at least I've seen. I don't know if it's happened to you, but they be like,
Yeah,
oh, oh, I don't know, that's his little girlfriend over here, or he's
yeah,
going to be a heartbreaker, or he's going to,
sure.
they start saying certain things. Not that that's like a super bad thing, but they're already like almost projecting
They
in a
are. That
sense certain
absolutely is
things.
that.
Like, have you ever, I guess, dealt with that or seen it? And then how do you feel about that? Like, if anything, maybe it doesn't bother you. I don't know.
Yeah, I had it happen recently, and this lady of a different race seen my son in a public area, public space, and was like, "Ooh!" Like she was enamored by him.
Yeah,
He's gonna be this. And she said these chicks gonna be all over him. And I heard these things. I may not look as young as I used to, but in my day,
yeah,
growing coming up, I remember hearing that.
yeah,
You're gonna the exact words. You're gonna be a heartbreaker. And when I ended up getting to that point where I could, I'm like, wow, this don't. I guess it did feel okay and appropriate, but it wasn't. I allowed it.
mhm,
That was my problem because it was so confusing coming from who it came from. This
yeah,
middle aged, almost senior citizen white lady, and then to my 3-year-old son saying that, repeating that, and I didn't want to make a scene,
yeah,
but I did. I was like, okay, I get it. I got him. I think I tell her that I got him. He's gonna get who he needs to get. And
yeah,
I don't remember the words, but it was kind of had me stumbling like I am now. Like,
mm,
wow, what do I say in that moment? But what I will say going forward, or what I make sure I do going forward is, you have to stop that where it is. Do you agree with that person? You could, because some people might, yeah, they're gonna be a heartbreaker because I don't want the alternative. What's the alternative? You're not messing with women, you messing with men, which I don't think those two things go together
yeah,
anyway. That's neither here nor there. No, that is here. We'll speak on that
yeah,
because I know, and I say I know men who go both ways. I've seen the not necessarily the act, but you've been with women and then now you with men, or you've been with men on a secretive type of thing. It's what it is.
yeah,
I don't say everybody because there's not everyone, but like so many people have people in their lives, family members, cousins, whatever, friends. They don't know what they do behind closed doors. They don't know how close people are or why they're close. So don't think because you see, the man that you think is the man of the situation that he it's not possible that he
yeah,
dealing with another somebody of the same gender.
yeah,
Very possible. As much as we want to like protect and keep our sons, like, ooh, yeah, mess with a lot of women, we thinking like that's gonna keep them from it. Because I feel like that's one of men's biggest fears: have a gay son, to have a
yeah,
homosexual son, to have a son that won't bring him a daughter home type of thing.
yeah.
That's a whole nother part where I'm like, wow, do you really love your son? Like, would that
Mhm.
matter for some people? Yep, it absolutely matters.
No, that's real, bro. Now, because what you say was two parts. I guess before I ask you the other thing, or we discussed the other part that I want to dive into,
Yeah.
is it's just kind of ironic, like you said, because I've heard plenty of time from all my kids though. I've heard it, hey, you have beautiful kids, which I appreciate,
Mm.
right? I've heard the heartbreaker, like, oh, I can smile, like, okay, like
Yeah, you got handsome kids, sons, bro. So I mean,
I mean,
I get why they would feel that way, but to say it out loud is
well, what I
I don't know.
always say is just like, oh, hey, he's focused on them books, like
Yeah,
that's what I always
deflect.
say.
I'm gonna deflect for them. Like I got
Yeah,
you.
yeah, I guess and he'll say it too. Like those, if they make a comment, he'll be looking like, cause like that's what I've already like been teaching him. Like
Mm.
girls will be there. We're not worried about that. We're focused on bigger things right now. Like we're
Right.
focused on accomplishing whatever goals we want to do. But I do that for all my kids. I want them to be like, hey, that for my girls, hey, those boys are gonna be there, right? Focus
Mm.
on what you need to focus on first. But I wanted to say in that, right, it's kind of ironic because they'll say that, But then, I think you mentioned this before, like,
Mm.
your son grows up and deals with their granddaughter or whatever, and then they do him dirty, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, hold on, wait, hold
Yeah.
on, your son is a terrible person now. It's like, wait, you was encouraging the behavior at first.
Until it happened to you, the person you love, or until he heart broke the person's heart that you introduced them to, or that they
Yeah.
grew up with as kids, and then they got older. Yeah, I seen
You,
that too.
like you was encouraging my son to do this to all these different females, and now you're upset because my son is a product of what you were trying to pour into him, right? And so now it's bothering you because now he's taking down your granddaughter. He's mistreating
Yeah,
your niece. Like now all of a sudden, wait, hold on. It went from, oh man, he's gonna be a great heartbreaker to why he keeps breaking my daughter's heart. Which one is it? Which one is it? And so I look at it like that, man, is we have to be so mindful what we're pouring into our kids, especially our sons, like I said, and now to go to the other thing that you mentioned, like you said,
mm,
like as fathers, a lot of us will think, hey, I'm gonna have strippers come to the house or whatever, and dance on my son because it's gonna keep them from, or it's gonna make sure that they like girls. But like you said, it can play both parts. On top of that, what Pandora box you open? We talked about, unfortunately these teachers and stuff messing, like now all of a sudden the kid wants to look into porn, right? And
yes,
porn is a thing now, and now that's opening. Oh shoot, wait, girls, guys,
yeah.
animals, whatever,
You just
whatever
running
weird
everything, bro.
fetish, right?
Yeah.
Like that opens a whole, and as we know, especially as men, like as men, the numbers are low, which it should be way higher, but it's low as far as men admitting that they were raped. But we do know the
Okay. Yeah.
numbers are super high when it comes to watching
Or
porn.
any sexual assault, sexual abuse.
Yes,
Doesn't
all
necessarily
that
have
is
to
low.
be incest or intercourse, but any of those things. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So like, how do we be mindful of that, bro? Because again, as men, we like. I'm just thinking about for a kid that your dad forced strippers on him at 14 or whatever, right? And it was like, oh man, that's what I'm supposed to do. So they
Yeah.
trying to get more of it. So now they watching porn or whatever the case is. I remember for me, the first time I seen it, I was even looking for it, but it was like at 12 years old. And I remember my family when I was in Ohio was watching it like crazy, and I thought it was weird, right? And I love my family out there, but
Sure.
I feel like
They ruined you.
well, not just that. I feel like it impacted them too.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Because
Like,
they were like, "Hey, look what we already got access to.
yeah,
You
like they
late."
already. And
And
for
I'm
me,
like,
I'm
that's what
like,
I'm thinking.
no,
You said
like,
12. I'm like,
yeah,
I was
bro,
more
no.
like 8 or 9 when I first
Oh, you was
seen my
8 or
first.
9?
Yeah, like I was younger.
Jeez.
Again, I don't know if I was shown it. I don't know if because it's foreign. It's different levels of it. You have
Yeah,
like I'm growing. I'm a late '80s baby, so you got or you too, but
the
late
HBO
'80s.
one.
Yeah, the HBO. You got where the Showtime when at a certain time is the the uh, the
BT.
saxophone
Oh,
playing. It's like,
yeah,
oh, I gotta turn it off. But sometimes you don't get to it because grandma sleep over there, or
yeah,
to turn it. And I'm just thinking like as a kid because you're curious. You
yeah,
get curious, just like we do as adults.
yeah,
Man, I'm just gonna eat these fries and I'm good. No. I got to get the burger, and then I say I'm just get half. You probably don't get half. You just gonna start eating the burger. You're not gonna think about how it's gonna make my chest hurt in the morning.
yeah.
You're not thinking about that because it's something that you want.
True.
It's causing you to get excited about it, and then you take
Mm,
it a step further. Then it becomes masturbation, and you take it a step further. Then I'm lusting for other people, and that could start becoming easy to you. So then you become addicted to not one thing but several things,
yeah.
and then you have an addictive personality when it
Mm,
comes to people and wanting people. And as you just keep going down further and further until I don't even know what that means.
yeah, yeah.
People end up going to prison because of impulses.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've seen that, bro. Where it was something. It was I saw like some weeks ago where a dude was literally masturbating like in I forgot. It was like in a public area to this lady.
Yeah,
He got arrested or some crazy like that,
right.
right? And I'm
That's,
like, dang, like how did he get there? But to to what you was talking about too, at eight, like it's crazy. We had like HBO, Showtime, BET Uncut, right? Like that was a big thing. Oh shoot, BET Uncut, right? Like,
To get a
but
little piece of something.
right. But now, like, and you had to wait late, right? You had to wait to midnight, 1, 2, and that's
Yeah,
probably why our
yeah, you
parents.
stayed up for that, bro. Like
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's why our parents
you
started
weren't tired, you weren't getting rest. Your
none.
brain, your mind was just like, ooh, like you know what you had to do as a young person to stay up that late on a Friday night, Saturday night going into Sunday. So even right there, you should be getting ready for church. Like, but here you are trying to stay up to watch some shaking or something.
That's why our parents would say, right, like, or grandparents, nothing good happens at night, right? And and but again, we would wait to midnight, right, or whatever to watch BET Uncut, whatever. But now in today's society, bro, you don't have to wait. It's all
Oh
on
yeah,
your
you can
phone.
as soon as you turn it on, you know where to go. You know
Yeah,
which account to follow. As you can store it, you can hide it, make a private profile,
all
and
that, bro.
I don't have to. I don't have any of these things, but I know that how easy accessible it is.
Yeah,
As a teacher, I was talking to some of the kids, and they wouldn't tell me about that, but I was
yeah,
just like, yeah, I've seen, or not tell me what they seen, but they'll tell me about other things. So I'm like, if you can see that, if you have access to that, I know you can. If you have an account, if you have a TikTok account, if you have an X
mm,
account, I know you can see it,
yeah.
whatever it is, whatever you want
Well,
to.
especially X account. X account is bad.
Yeah, I had to stray away from that
No,
because
I got off of mine too because it was. I was like, bro, I'm looking up stuff for LeBron, and it's just, I'm like, what is going on? Yeah, I got to
right.
get this. Got to go.
And they get so creative. They start putting, adding names that are like other celebrity names. So you
Yeah.
searching for one name, it can be like a state or a country or something, and that pops up. Just couldn't imagine like what if somebody that's looking it up for like a class project or something.
Yeah.
Because once you see it, you can't unsee it.
True. True.
Most kids are gonna be like, "Oh, I looked this up." I catch my daughter all the time. She on my account, my 8-year-old. She'll get on my account and then be like looking up like King Von or something because she heard a song.
Mm.
Like, why would you know King Von? Like he was gone when you were 2, 2 or maybe 3. Like you shouldn't know nothing about it. The beats
Mm.
may be attractive to her ears or whatever, or she knows other people. She's cool. She see locks. She think about, my dad got locks. He's got
Yeah.
locks. Whatever it could be is something that she's attached to.
Mm.
So those are things that, again, if an 8-year-old can look it up, I know a 15-year-old already know what's
Oh,
going on.
absolutely.
Like
Yeah, man. It's
I've done seen enough. I probably did some things, and it'd be a lot of times, especially growing up. It was the white boys. Shout out to my because I went to like a good like half and half, like maybe like 60-40
mhm.
white, and then everyone else. So I'd be thinking like the cheerleaders. Sorry y'all, whatever, but y'all know what y'all were doing teenage years. But I didn't know about it at the time. It'd be like later because they'd be friends. Like their
Yeah.
parents let them have parties and things like that. They're dating each other, but they were
Yeah.
doing everything.
Mm. Yeah, that's
That's
crazy.
wild time, man. So just real quick, I hate that. That's why it bothers me when people start saying like this generation,
Mm.
as if we weren't doing things, as if our parents and grandparents weren't doing things too. How do you think
Facts.
a lot of us got here? Your grandma got, your granddaddy got all these different women. Like it's cousins you don't even know about because of your. It may not be your granddaddy, but it's your cousin granddaddy. It's your uncle.
Yeah.
That man was in a slaughterhouse, bro. Like he was hitting everything. Like my wife is a product of her family. Her sisters came here because daddy was hit. Uncle was hitting,
Yeah.
all in like the same area.
Yeah.
And the kids look alike. They going to school together, and then bam, you my sister instead of my cousin, right? What? Why am I just finding this out at
Yeah.
8 years old, 9 years old? So
No.
sorry. I mean, I ain't sorry. I'm at a point now. I'm about to be like everybody else. Like businesses out there. I ain't saying no names. You can piece it together however you want to piece it.
Yeah.
But these are things that are going on in our society, like you mentioned earlier. But we've been too quiet about it. We don't being passive. We don't want to get
Yeah.
people in trouble. They did it.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's what
man.
it's out here.
Now, what would you say, like? Because why? I guess no. I should put it like this: why,
Mm,
as a society, I'm not even saying necessarily you, but
yeah.
why are we quicker like to correct our daughters than to discipline our sons in that same area? Like, is it strictly because of, because at least for me, I look at it like there is something internal there. Like, either,
Mhm.
like there's something where, because culture plays a part in it too, let's be honest, right?
Yeah.
A lot of the rap music, right? Like, the music, they talk about the same subjects, let's be honest: drugs, money, and women. Same thing, right? There's different variations, but it's pretty much for the most
Yeah,
part.
you'll find a few that's kind of like on the conscious level.
Yeah,
Like, oh, I don't have to listen to that,
yeah.
but yeah.
But for the most part, like, I'll be honest, like, right, like, I like, it's funny you mentioned generation, like, oh, this generation is bad, but our generation is bad too. I was listening to Freak a Leak. I was listening to Whistle While You Twerk, like all these
This is radio hits, bro.
radio.
Radio hits in every rotation.
What's that? The Whisper song. I don't even remember right now. Yang, but
The Whisper song, yeah, yeah,
you know
for
what I
sure.
mean. It's
I grew
literally
up
songs
in
that
that part
that
of the
shouldn't
South,
be
so
played.
yeah, the yin yang twins used to be at our mall. Used to be at our clubs all the time in South Carolina. That was just one of their stops. They just be sliding through.
Yeah, man. So,
Shout out
so
to D Rock and Kane, I believe their name. But shout out to y'all, man. In Atlanta,
um,
Atlanta legends. They weren't out very long as far as like big, but they made
yeah,
their mark.
yeah. No, no, man. But I guess then, bro. Like, what can we do to be better in that area, right? For us
Yeah.
to hold our sons, I guess, accountable in that
Mm-hmm.
sense, or is it one
Well,
of those things like we just won't ever hold them accountable in that area because that's what we want them to do?
yeah, but the first thing, like you said, why women, not men? My belief is we want to try to, we want our daughters to be pure.
Mm,
You know, when my daughter was born, I just like, wow, I don't want anybody to ever hurt you.
mm,
And I have been since doing everything I could to make sure she isn't hurt by other people. Maybe like if I hurt her feelings or something, I know I can say I apologize in that moment.
yeah,
You know, making me already an emotional person even softer. I know that I'm gonna feel something when if I'm upset with her or whatever, or them, my two daughters. But like I looked at her as whatever as they're getting older, I'm looking at them growing taller, body developing, and I'm like, somebody else is looking at you. You know, somebody is, you get inching closer to me not being able to protect you from that.
yeah,
But I think with our sons, a lot of times, and I can go further in that later, but with our sons, I feel like we teach them to be the protectors, but they need protection too.
mm,
They need nurturing as well.
yeah,
They need you to know that you're gonna cover their tails, their backsides too.
mm,
But we get them so like go be independent. Don't depend on me. Don't take care of your money and all that stuff on your own. And a lot of times we drop our sons off at 15, 16 because they said something we didn't like. And I'm now speaking about myself. I was very rebellious when it came to like my father. And just men in general, I just like I'm listening to you. I wouldn't maybe say those words, but I was like I'm trying to do whatever because you're not showing me what a man is either. So why would I listen to you? You're
yeah,
not being a good example. Um, so I think a lot of some men may say, well, I'm not being a good example myself, therefore I can't tell him that.
mm,
What do I look like telling you to how to treat a woman, and you're my son, but you got four other brothers and sisters with two, and you got two, had two stepmamas.
yeah,
Every girl I brought you around, I'm like, hey, this is this is my girlfriend, things like that. That's what they grow up seeing. Eventually, it's like I don't need a wife. I don't need to be with somebody. Look at the life my dad got. He a player.
yeah, yeah. No,
So
that's real.
that's part of my
No, that's real,
reasoning.
bro. I definitely want to be conscious of your time, but I will say, as well, real quick, is I also think part of it is which I mentioned a little earlier, trauma that we deal with, right? A lot of times, if you ask, it might seem silly, but if you ask a lot of dudes, oh man, what made you be this way, right? It's like either A, yes, that example, but a lot of times it's like, I got my heart broken, right?
Heartbroken by
Yeah, my heart
somebody.
broken,
Yeah.
and they was talking about me, they made fun of me, they whatever the case was, right? And that heart in my heart, and so I have the approach now. bump that. I'm gonna get as many chicks as I want, and I don't want my son to ever deal with that. I don't want my son to be looked at as a simp. So you know what? Yeah, take as many chicks down as you can,
You
right?
break your heart first.
Yeah, break her heart first. Or you know what? I didn't grow up with my mom, right? Or my mom was a terrible mom. Or matter of fact, Blueface said this. Blueface literally said in an interview that the reason why he treats the women that the way that he does is because of his mom. He said
That's
his
fair.
mom and his sister. He saw how they moved, and that's why he moved that way, right? And so
That's fair. I don't fully agree with it,
no,
but I
I don't
understand.
agree, but I'm just saying that's how
Yeah,
that's what he
yeah,
said.
I
Like,
understand it.
now again, at the end of the day, that's a whole nother discussion we could have as far as him being accountable. But in his mind, hey, I saw how you was moving with dudes. I saw how you was doing them dirty or whatever the case is. So I'm making sure that don't happen to me, right?
This is a horrible cycle, man.
It's a
This
horrible
like because
cycle.
it sounds like the mom was dealt with a certain hand. She was
Yeah,
maybe something she seen.
yeah,
Like we cannot be oblivious to like the documentaries that get shown, like these trap queens, these women who are in gangs and pimps and things like that. They lived that life, and they had a lot of them had kids who grew up, who had to grow up, who grew up in a life. Even all the way back to, I say in my lineage, I ain't gonna say who, but I
yeah,
know people in my family who were up in like Harlem and in these spaces
yeah,
where like women with the long cigarettes and the dresses. This is people in my family. I see pictures. I seen, they still up there now. Like
yeah.
they were in that life,
Mm,
dealing with the mobsters, dealing with the people who, you need a girl, rock to walk in your arm with. Here you go. I got two of them. I don't know what role they played, but I know they were up there doing their thing,
mm,
and that's just what I know, what I've heard. So if these people exist, it's anywhere in the world,
yeah,
then whoever's watching, maybe somebody in your family had experienced that, in their hopefully at some point, and this mothers get the credit too, in as far as like the teachable part.
yeah,
Um, you being able to articulate what you want from your children. Um, we love to be like, I want my kid to get all A's. I mean, I hate to say it for me, like I just want my son to stay out of prison. Like
mm,
I want him to have freedom.
mm,
Whatever that means, whatever that looks like. Hopefully he doesn't do anything to where he might have to like decide, like, should I tell on my friend or should I go to jail? Like, I hope it's not like that. But it could be. It could very much so be that.
yeah,
So all I can do on my end is continue to live right, live better.
yeah,
Not beat myself up about my mistakes, and don't project my feelings and thoughts onto my kids. That's probably the worst thing we can do. Because it works, like you said. Well, I see my mom going through it, so I didn't, and she never tried to stop it. She never told you that it's not okay. I'm trying to get a man in your life that can also show you that's not okay.
yeah,
Because maybe the man in her life, the men in her life, was just okay with her being who she was.
mm,
So
yeah.
he ain't trying to take care of no other man's kid, like not no boy.
Yeah, no, that's you actually answered my question too. I was just going to
Mm.
ask, as far as what do you want, for your son? I know you said the biggest thing for you is just for him to, be out of jail and to, stay focused. Obviously, I know you want him to be a God fearing man as well.
Sure.
So I know for me, all those things, of course, I guess, just the biggest part when it comes to the women aspect. I want my sons to understand um, quality over quantity, right?
No doubt.
Have you, when they do start dating and stuff like that, have you a woman that has goals? Have you a woman that is trying to be a nurse, a doctor, a lawyer, right? A teacher, whatever the case is driven, and isn't caught up in status or isn't caught up in how much money you have or that again, I believe that all my kids are going to be doing very well, but you don't want a woman that is focused more so on the likes on Instagram instead of the likes that you have, right? So
So,
that's for me that's the biggest thing. But yeah, as long as they're able to do that, they'll be able. My sons and your son will be
mm,
able to start making that more so the norm, right? Instead of it being, I guess, so rare as it is now.
yeah, that's real. That's the example. That's those bars right there. That is how it happens.
Yeah,
It's not, and everyone is not gonna fall into. You know what? I'm gonna just put this down. I'm gonna just be with one woman. Statistically, whatever, it's not
Yeah.
gonna happen.
Yeah.
All we can do is raise the children that we have the way we should, and then hope for the best. Really, like pray for them all the time.
Yeah.
Pray with them. My son is praying with me now, like 3 years old. I was down on the floor earlier, and he got down there praying for his teachers, praying for his classmates.
Yeah.
He didn't include the family, but
Yeah.
I guess they pray at school. So I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, like that's amazing.
That's dope,
So
bro.
within those prayers, I know people are like, oh, just pray, just pray. You need to know why you're praying.
Yeah.
Not just who you're praying to. You need to know why you're praying. Like, is it just to get something,
Yeah.
or is it because he's giving you things?
Mm.
You're showing gratitude.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like is a misconception. So, same with raising children. I mean, I got these kids. It be sounding like a burden to some people. Like, dang, bro, like, do you love your kids?
Yeah.
Put that on the caption. Dang, do you love your kids, bro? Like, really, like, truly, do you love them? I know you're working hard. I know you got child support. I know you have, clothes to buy for the school year. But do you love your kids? Because you're not behaving like you love your kids. And
Mm.
I've been through that, so I understand it.
Yeah.
I can relate to people who can say, dang, I do love my kids, but I love what I'm doing more.
Mm.
I'm putting this in front of them.
That's real. No, that's real, bro. Well, one again, I appreciate your time because I know
Oh,
it was
no doubt.
it was last minute and stuff. But before
It's all good.
we go, bro, I want you to plug in because you have an event going on this Saturday. So what
Mhm.
is plug that in where they can check it out and all that, bro.
Yeah, hopefully this is seen soon. I know we get it loaded up. And it'll be events to come, but I go by Jawan Doe, if you didn't know. I do have my own podcast, The Doe Spot, DADOESPOT. You can find the Doe Spot podcast on YouTube and other areas. Within that, I'm also a part of an organization, nonprofit organization that's related to fatherhood called the Daddy Stroller Social Club. Daddy's Stroller Social Club. And myself and my boy Jordan, we just started, we became a key representatives here in San Antonio, Texas. So this Saturday, we're going to be meeting at a location. You have to go to the Instagram to go get the location and register. It's a private event, so I want people thinking everybody can just pull up. I want you to register. And when we get there, the biggest thing is developing organization and brotherhood. Fathers, just men of all ages, any ethnicity, any nationality. You coming in and be there for solidarity, right? But my biggest hope, it's not about numbers, it's about impact. So quality over quantity. I want guys that's gonna get out there and maybe have some testimonials, maybe tell other people how important this is to them. Not me. It ain't about me. For one, giving glory to God for everything He does, but it's not about me. It's about all these things we talked about. How can I keep my son out of prison? How can I keep my son from thinking being with his teacher is okay?
Yeah.
How can I keep my son from straying from me, not being afraid of me?
Mm.
Respecting my household, respecting his own body, his own mind, not watching these things that will destroy him. So I got to listen to my choices and everything. As far as the event, I'd be so glad to see 10 people out there, man, myself included. And I got my 2 kids. 7 people show up, I'd be just as happy.
Yeah.
It's 100 people. So yes, man, if y'all see this on time, go to the IG page, Daddy Stroller Social Club _SATX. Please come check us out. We will have more. We're gonna do a stride, just a walk around the park. But we'll be doing more events as time goes on. You get to probably meet Sean. I know people see him behind the screen, but you get to meet this guy and just doing something. He's just doing wonderful things. I appreciate you having me on. The time is the time. But I appreciate you having me on, bro. We brothers. We talk. We really have a brotherhood, and that's what I'm trying to develop or help other people develop in this area.
Yeah. No, I love it, bro. I love it. And yeah, y'all. I'll make sure I put the link in as well on the
No doubt.
YouTube channel.
Yep.
Obviously on Apple, Spotify. You guys should be able to click the link. I'm gonna make sure I put it on there so you guys have access.
At least to join the page and spread the word. That's
Yeah,
really
yeah. So yeah, man. I appreciate you, man, and I appreciate all you guys listening, tuning in, and like always, you don't have to be perfect, but you always have to be present. See you guys on the next one.